Hi guys, welcome back to my vlog. And today, as you could see, I was going to clean the house because it's Friday, and I'm sure that majority of you or many of you may have plans similar to mine, because usually when it's Friday or when it's weekend, when we have free time, we are planning the cleaning, right? And today I decided to share my pain with you, because usually when it comes to mopping the floors, well, we do change our mops regularly, definitely, because they ran out of their service capacities, and they broken or something. And well, I usually this brand was, which you can see right here. I'll tell you more about that. Leifheit was usually my go-to brand because I relied on their mops, on their dusters. As you could see, this is the new one, for a long time. And for some reason I decided to save slightly previously, and I changed it to the unknown brand with this mechanism of keeping water here and spraying to the mop. And it was supposed to save your time. The handle was supposed to as well be, well, you push here, and the spray, the water goes here to the textile part, right? In my case, it wasn't util, because first of all, when you're mopping the floors, I prefer washing, taking off the textile part and washing, and then continuing to wash, or using the special volumes with water to refresh the textile part properly. And so I didn't really use it. I didn't find it useful, because to me, even when you clean regularly, when your floors are not dirty and the actual textile part not gets dirty that quickly, still you don't want just to keep it wet. You want to keep it clean, whereas this mechanism just delivers water to the textile part, right? So it doesn't really clean. So I didn't use it this part. Maybe for some of you, please write in comments. Some housewives may find it, house husbands may find it useful, this mechanism, but for me it's just a waste of space. Because first of all, when you're cleaning, it's one of the obstacles as well for me. When you're cleaning under the sofa or the bed, for example, and you don't have that much space between the floor and the well, let's put it sofa, for example, this will not go far because of that one, because it's quite thick, so you can't go under the narrow spaces, whereas with the usual one you can. And so this is why this two main obstacles that actually made me not like this mechanism. And even though nowadays it's supposed to be quite popular and it is more expensive usually than the standard mop, but for me it didn't work for these two reasons. And the second, as you can see, I'm not showing you this part, right? The lower, the main part. I'm just showing you the handle, which for me didn't work. Please write in comments your thoughts, and if you were considering buying this type of the mop, please do think twice, because depending on how much narrow spaces you have on the floor, and how much I don't know what is the space that you're cleaning, the floors, how much, whether it's big or small. Well, I have a small apartment, and for me still, I prefer to really wash the textile part rather than just wet it. So this one was for me useless. Plus, it didn't allow me to go under the sofa. So I will not buy this again. And the second, the weakest part usually, is the part where you put the textile part on, right? And in my case, it wasn't durable. It wasn't supposed to be like that. It's actually broken. So yes, it folded, and it worked for let's put it 2, maybe 3 months. It's not bad actually, but after this period of time, it broke and I couldn't use it. And when you evaluate it, you can feel that it's light. So I guess the main pressure is coming to that part of the mop, and it has to be solid, it has to be strong. So it's small, and the pedal worked, so everything worked for not so long. So this is broken, so this is another reason why I'm not using it anymore, and I will not buy this type of mop anymore. So I decided to go back to the good old Leifheit, I believe how it's called. I may be pronouncing it incorrectly. Please do correct me. If I believe it's a German or Austrian language or the brand, I may be mistaken. I didn't go Google searching it, but it's just the brand that I like. This one. I'm sure that many of you are familiar with that brand because it's quite popular. It's not new, and I guess in majority of cases it has quite a good reputation for cleaning products, tools in particular. So this is one. This is the classic XL, and I guess this is the classic one. As you could see, they have the bigger one. They have the base with iron frame on it, and it's a bit more expensive. I bought this one for 14 euros, I believe, and the another one is sold for about 30, close to 30 anyway. So I decided, but I'm okay with that one. I previously used this model, so I decided that since I have a small apartment, I do not really need a huge mop, because it will not be convenient for me to go to the corners, you know, so to details. So this is why I like Leifheit, because first of all, the handle doesn't have this spraying mechanism, which I apparently don't need, because my experience showed that it's useless in my case. So it's just a standard classical handle, which can be regulated. It's the mechanism is really classical, really old style, but I guess the most reliable for me anyway. So you can actually regulate the length by screwing like that. It stays really high, it's really strong, you can feel it, and the base it's bigger than this one. I'll just compare the half. It's definitely bigger. It's not too big for me, because they have, I believe it's called like premium or something, premium, the next model, which may be ideal for large spaces, but within small apartment, I guess that this one will be sufficient for me anyway. So you have this pedal. It's quite, as you can see, it's new. I'm going to be using it soon, really soon. As you can see, I'm wearing my hair in a housewife mode style, I would say. So I'll be using it, but for this video I decided to leave the big part on for you to tell you more about that and show you the exact model. And I like the textile part here. You can actually buy more just to interchange them. And the set that I bought for 14 euros, as I said, is this one. So you don't have the special like the water container, right? I didn't buy it because I prefer to use it quickly with the in the bathroom. So without the water tank, it cost me 14 euros, and it includes the textile part, the base, and the handle all together. What I like about it, except for the handle, which is quite stable, thick, and quite reliable. My experience, previous one, showed that it is durable and reliable. It has quite a nice mechanism of fixing the textile part to the base, to the handle, and it's quite flexible, as you can see. It doesn't go round, can be detached from the handle. Well, basically, let's do that for me to make it a bit lighter. It can be detached. It can be actually hang on the wall, because it has this small ring. You can actually store it somewhere on the wall to save space on the floor. And I like the fact that the material is, even though it doesn't go 360, but still it's enough for what I need at least. And I like the material because the material being quite, well, definitely it's not the like cotton maybe, but it's quite, it's microfiber, which is, oh, by the way, they actually say that it goes 360, but I cannot see how. It may be just me, but anyway, this is sufficient for me. This is more than sufficient, this model, because I used it before. And microfiber is different from the model to model, from the brand to brand. And this one being quite thick, this one is really soft, and I could see, and you know, sometimes with towels, for example, you can actually touch and feel whether it's going to be absorbent or not. And with mops, it's the same. I can feel and I know that it's going to be really absorbent, and it's gonna clean well. So I guess all the dirt will be like glued to this this mop. It's my coffee machine. Please don't pay attention to it. Well, by the way, we all need coffee sometimes. So let me have some while my machine is cleaning. And by the way, all housewives, I guess, and not only housewives, we do live on coffee, because coffee is our well, it's start of the day. And in my case, for example, when I have cleaning plants, and sometimes it's not really like the most the thing that I'm looking forward to. It's like a necessity rather than pleasure. So when we do that, I do plan to have some coffee after I finish. So this is my sort of motivation. And speaking of coffee, by the way, my coffee machine just reminded me of the fact that sometimes we all need a cup of coffee, especially today when it's quite gray in Spain. It was 26, so everybody was in shorts, like in flip-flops, swimming maybe and sun tanning. I'm just reminding you that it's the end of May now, and now it's 20 and it's raining starting from the very, very morning. And some people, I don't know, they probably I've already packed my autumn jackets. So this is why my kids wore like jeans jackets to school. So just to warm up, because we had to take our backpacks, which are quite heavy, because they need to carry all those copybooks with them. We took the umbrellas, each kid and myself, we took umbrella each, and so we were quite loaded going to this bus stop. And it was raining, it was really raining, and by the time they came to the bus stop there, as they told me, the socks were already wet. So you need to make sure that you take the change as well with you of socks, or maybe the shoes as well, depending on the weather and the extent. And it was raining quite heavy from the very morning, so it's gray. And this is why, especially in those days, you need your coffee twice as much as regularly. So going back to the mop. So the mop actually is taken off quite easily. So you just push the pedal, and by the way, the pedal is quite, as you could see, the pedal is quite wide, so you can simply do it with your leg when cleaning, and it's quite reliable. As you could see, the mechanism is quite thought through, and just like that. And everything, well, if compared with this model, which is broken, by the way, the actual plastic, it's quite more thick, and as I can see, well, I know and I can see that it's going to be much durable. So this is the size, it's smaller and it's thicker. So what was I thinking? I have no idea. I just wanted to try the spray system for the mop, which for me, as I said previously, didn't work. Will not buy it for sure anymore. And the textile part, as you can see, it's quite big, so you're going to be covering quite a sufficient areas, and your cleaning is going to be relatively quick depending on your plans. And you can actually wash it at the temperature of 60 degrees, which is quite nice stuff. So this is the XL mode, so the length is 42 centimeters. For me, it is sufficient. They have bigger, but for me, it is sufficient. So this mop, Classic XL, it's one of the most budget-friendly ones, are the most optimal one in terms of reliability, in terms of how it cleans, in terms of the price as well. So this is the new one, which I'm going to be using really soon. And because I decided to show you my new sort of purchases, the household purchases, I decided to also show you the duster. It depends on how, well, we all clean the dust differently. Some rely on dusters like that. Some rely on the textiles of like squares and on the hands. It depends, and in my case as well. But I sometimes find it a bit, I do it both ways, and I sometimes find it a bit more like speedy and quick to use those dusters. But in terms of Leifheit, and this is called Duster XL, dust magnet, as they say. I do believe that it's dust magnet because it's not that synthetic. Well, I forgot to check the previous one. You know, the dusters, which are a bit more synthetic, you almost feel like it's lines of plastic there, right? So for me, it's not efficient at all. It just, I believe that, based on my experience anyway, it sort of moves the dust around. It doesn't really clean. So this one, it's a bit, well, it feels a bit more natural. I'm not sure what is the material here, but I can be sure that the dust will be really glued to that. It will be like magnet for the dust. This is really true. And I like the size. Being quite a big one, it's quite light, so you can actually manage it quite easy. And they have a 3 years guarantee as well, even though I'm sure that I will not be using it. I will be using the guarantee because, well, hopefully at least. And so far I didn't have to use it, the guarantee, because it didn't break, it didn't go out of service, it's so on. It's just that in majority of cases, unless you're like moving and you don't want to carry those things around, especially if they're used, you're not changing it. You're just still using it. You just change the textile parts. So for me, in my personal opinion, the Leifheit is one of the best brands for the household tools, for cleaning tools as well. I believe that this is brand, not the new one. They have the expertise they need to produce efficient tools for the household. They have the reliability and reputation, and I believe that they really appreciate, and their clients basically, because they, so far, even though I've used it for a long time, and this is my recent purchase, right? So far I wasn't disappointed with anything that I bought anyway from the Leifheit. So being quite a bit of a more pricey than the standard mops or dusters you can buy from the Chinese shop, for example, it provides much bigger quality for that. So the reliability and the ratio, like quality price ratio, is quite a good one here. So make sure that you really research and make sure that you know their like variety of products that they offer, and select the one that is suitable for you, because we all have different needs. We all have different spaces. The spaces are probably, they can be your apartment you live in, or it can be a shop or some other surface that you need to clean. So make sure that you sort of customize the end result and the end purchase to your necessity, basically. So this is from the more or less grand tools for the household tasks that I've just recently bought, and I want to recommend it to you guys. It's not a promo, it's not an advert. I'm not paid for that. Just that maybe for some of the housewives here and viewers, be it men or women, it may be quite useful, this information. And please write me in comments your opinions, if you use this brand, or if you bought it, if you're gonna buy it, and after you use it, please write if you agree with me or not, if you like this brand and what you like about it, and if you didn't, what you didn't like about it. So please do write comments about that. Well, let's continue with this small appliance that I recently bought from Ikea, which I wanted to show you as well, because it will definitely save time in the kitchen. Let's start with the relatively big ones, right? So I bought this, you can see it's packaged, but I'll unpack it for you. This is, I'm sure that many of you are familiar with that as well. This is a simply really useful tool for the summer period, when we have a lot of greens, herbs, and we need to wash it thoroughly, definitely. And it takes a lot of time to wash it thoroughly by hand. Well, some of you may prefer wash it leaf by leaf, but it takes ages. And for example, you can take a big bowl and fill it with water, and then wash it with your hands, which will be something similar to what this thing produces as a result. But it's still not that efficient, and not that in terms of time and end result in cleanliness. So this is why I like those things. And those can be bought for like more expensive and less expensive. They can be affordable and not so, but to be honest with you, I do not, well, if you can afford it, that's great, but it's not necessary that you buy the most expensive one. The plastic may be thicker, or it may be larger. Again, it depends on the space that you have in the kitchen, whether you can store the big one or you prefer to have a small one. In my case, I bought something in terms of size. It's something like medium, I would say, average of the size, and they have this this part, like a bowl, which you can use for anything else. They have this plastic sort of net. You can put it inside. You put the greens and herbs, fresh herbs, for example, from the market. It's in my case here. You fill it with water, and you cover it with this this cover, which has a rolling element to that. And you actually roll the element with the help of this handle, sort of. So you cover this part with this cover. You cover it. It's supposedly with water and herbs, and you try to roll here. As you can see, the net is rolling. This net part within this part, with its ball basically, and this is how it creates the like waves, small waves within the water, and your herbs and greens are washed thoroughly, and it's quite quickly. It's quite efficient. And plus, it doesn't take, your hands are not, at that point, they may be dry, you can do anything else with your other hand, but still continue to do washing of your greens, for example. And I find it quite useful. And if you wanted to get rid of the water, you can just do it without opening, without having water all over the kitchen. You can do it here, you can do it like that, and get rid of the water, and then take the greens. Usually I do that like that. So I take the greens like that. I put a towel or paper towel underneath and put my greens here just to make sure that you don't have liquids and it's not wet. And you dry it out. It's quite quickly and it's quite effectively at the same time. It's really like classic. It's not a modern, it's not a new technology. It's quite already used and popular thing. And many brands are producing this nowadays. Many supermarkets are still in it. And I bought it. I bought it in El Corte Inglés here in Spain. By the way, if you live in Spain, please do pay attention to it. It's really good. It's not expensive. The diameter is 22.5 centimeters, and it's said that it's their best price. And to be honest with you, I don't really remember the price, but I just remember it was less expensive than the average price out there that I saw. And the volume, it's not too big, it's not too high, but it's just something that is just right for me, for my needs anyway. And I guess it's quite optimal, to be honest. So this is the new one. I just unpacked it with you, and I really recommend to have it during this summer, because I believe there are many berries. Berries can be washed here as well. Berries, cherries, tomatoes, herbs and greens, and the small stuff which you can you can do that with your hands. It will be quite clean, but it will take much more time than with this super machine, which is not. It's just a simple kitchen tool. So this is why I highly recommend. If you're not using it yet, please do pay attention to those models. By the way, not all of them have this this small thing for getting rid of the water, because it is quite important and quite convenient. So you don't have to really open the thing, risking that the water will go out like a fountain. So this is something I recommend you guys as well. It may be not. I haven't tried this particular one, so I'm not sure if it will last for ages. I hope it will last for at least one summer. And then you can just buy a new one the next summer, because usually, well, in majority of cases, I do not use this during winter that much. It depends. Let's see how it works. I'll share you my feedback when I use it for quite a long time. I'll tell you, or ask me and remind me in comments if you want to get my opinion later in time. I'll definitely be using that as well. In terms of Ikea, what I recently bought is these three things, which are, and I'm sure that many of you like Ikea furniture and Ikea kitchen tools as well as me. And since I was covering the household tools as well as kitchen stuff, I decided to show you the three details that I bought from the Ikea. These are budget friendly, but at the same time, these are quite high quality, and they can be quite universal in terms of how you use it. So look at that. It's usual standard ice creamer or wherever you use it. You know, you can actually use it for ice cream, meatballs as well. When you have a minced meat, well, in the majority of cases you still need to do something with your hands, but you can, in many cases, you can do it quickly without going there with your hands. Just scoop like that and quickly, and make sure the meat is quite cold. It's not warm, because when it's cold, it detaches from the spoon quite quickly and maintains the shape of the bowl, basically. So this is quite universal. You can use it for ice creams, you can use it for meatballs as well. So like that. And I like the mechanism. I don't like this line going toward, oh, I have it in quite smaller, but for ice cream it's more or less fine. For meatballs, in my experience, it doesn't work. So I prefer this material. And in Ikea, I don't have the price, but I believe it's like 3-4 euros top. It's not too expensive. And another one is for the sugar. This small, really classical one, nothing fancy, but I prefer to use this one for sugar and for spicy that I use a lot, like curcuma, for example. And I find it a bit more convenient than just using a spoon. Just use that like that, and you can actually maintain and control over how much you put, but at the same time you can put it on the table and leave it like that without having to think about many spoons that are laying there needing to be cleaned or something. So for me, this is it costs 2.49, 2.50 euros, but still it's quite handy and universal as well. You can use it for sugar or for spices. And I also bought these hangers. I just bought it in the department of Ikea, where they sell kitchen furniture. You can actually put it on the door, and I use it for the kitchen, because for the kids' wardrobe, I guess it's a bit, for me it's a bit too dangerous, because if it's somewhere on their level, they can be cut with that. So I use it for the kitchen. I put it on the door, the kitchen door, or the door's door, and I put the towels here. So for me, it's like quite colorful. It has 4 looks like that, and 4 different colors. Quite interesting, colorful, and at the same time, it's something that's really as well universal. Just to make sure that your doors are of that width, to make sure that it suits. It's also not very like 2 euros or 3 euros, but it's quite universal for the kitchen as well, not for the kids' room. Well, some of you may use it for any space, but I'm using it for the kitchen. And I use it recently, even though I have an electrical one, grater. Yes, it's grater, but I use this really small one, a basic one, not too fancy, for 5 euros. You can buy it from Timo or AliExpress, even cheaper, but I use it for 5 euros. Just simple grater. I'm sure that many of you are familiar with that, with 5 types of like grating, like that. The bigger, the smaller, this type, and this type. And so you can use it for vegetables, you can use it for cheese, for anything. And it's quite universal when you need a small amount. It's quite quick, handy. And my recommendation would be to still having this grater, this type of a grater. It's not really durable, I'm sure, but well, it depends. It doesn't take much time, but much space, which is relevant to me because I don't have a great and big kitchen. So this is something that I will try. I didn't use the cheap ones, but I will try and let you know how it works, whether it works or whether it was working within like 2 uses. Give me some time, and I'll produce this feedback. So this is something that for me it's quite useful. Or you can go for the more expensive ones, and they're usually durable, like eternal. So this is the grater, and from the Ikea, from the big appliances, so-called, it's not the appliance, but still, we all in the kitchen are using the cutting board. Well, this is not the usual size of the cutting board, right? But this is the model, and I left it in the package just to show you. This is the cutting board, lamping, I believe. They can be used, and I will unpack it just now. And this is the cutting board, which can be used for cutting. Oh, what a surprise, right? As well as for covering your stove. If you have an induction one, and the name is lamping. This is the name of the model. Let me remind myself about the size of it. So this is the cutting board as well as the cover. So this is quite universal, and they have, I believe they have two sizes of these cutting boards, and this cover, actually a cutting board, covers my stove. So this kind of creates additional working space in the kitchen for me. So this is I like. They have the special boards for the liquid to go in, and you just put it like that. You can turn it depending on how you like to use it. You can actually use it like on one side, you can use it as a cutting board. Another one will be like the cover. Look at that. And they have quite a good quality of that, the wood. So this is why I highly recommend it to you. I believe that the price is 14 euros or something. And they have a smaller one for 12 or 10. I don't really remember. It's not that expensive, but it's definitely usable because I used it before, to be honest. It's just that my friends are using it as well, so we do rely on it. The name is lamping, as I said, and this size. This is the bigger one, I believe. I don't really remember the size. I'm sure that you'll be able to find the sizes on the Ikea website, but this is something not that commonly sold in like supermarkets or something, especially of that size. But I do find it really useful and comfortable for me in my kitchen. Having said that, my kitchen is really small. This is why this is quite useful, because it can create working space when you need it. It can be a cutting board at the same time, and you can actually store it vertically somewhere in between of the drawers or somewhere on close to the wall, so it doesn't really take that much space when you're not using it. So this is quite a universal stuff, and I'm sure that can be used in the kitchen, many kitchens. You can buy a small one if you like. So please explore this ones, and I believe that for many of you it will be definitely useful. So this is really a short but vlog about the kitchen or the cleaning tools that I use and I recently bought. And the reason why I sort of decided to show it to you new, and unpack it for you, to make sure that this vlog at least looks nice because it's not used, it doesn't have the scratches, if any. And anyway, I will share my feedback when I use it for some time. Some of you I know for sure that's going to be reliable, but in terms of this grater, for example, not too sure. It's just that I like the price, I like the fact that it's small. Let me try it out and then share with you my opinion. And I do like those of a bit more expensive level. These are quite useful and durable, but in majority of cases they do take much space there in the kitchen, which I have shortage of. Plus I have the electric grater, which I recommend to you to buy as well, because it's not that expensive. Mine was I bought it from Lidl, and the electric grater was about 20 something euros. So overall it's not that expensive, but if you have like a lot of vegetables like carrots for example, which you need to be grated, it's done really quickly and saves time, saves your energy as well. And it's not that it doesn't consume much of an energy because it's quite quick. You have this head there which needs to be cleaned quickly by hand or whatever you prefer, however you prefer, and it's quite quick. So quite a large amount of carrots, for example, can be grated, or like carrots or potatoes, which are like quite hard to do it manually. So it's quick, it's easier, and it doesn't consume much energy in terms of electric grater. So I think that electric grater is quite a good investment as well to the kitchen, even a small one, because I believe that good investment and good kitchen appliances are like lifesavers, and makes the whole household and kitchen experience a difference, so more pleasant, and the overall result, I guess, the variety of dishes that you offer to your family and guests can be improved, enhanced. So guys, these are my most recent purchases in terms of kitchen, household. Please ask any questions that you may have. I'll try to share my opinion when I'm using something that is new to me as well. But I do recommend this Leifheit brand. If some of you are not familiar with it, please do go and check. And thanks for watching, guys. Have a great weekend. Take care. And it's summer, so let's be happy about that. And I'm gonna be continuing my day with cleaning, as you could see from my hairstyle. So guys, thanks for watching. Continue probably enjoying your life, and try to make even the most boring stuff like cleaning, for example, as efficient as possible with the right tools for that. And I hope that I helped you select, and I helped you with this information that I just provided, and with my experience. I tried. Anyway, this was my main aim of this video. So guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, comment, and ask questions regarding any tools that I've just showed, and I'll try to answer as soon as possible. Thanks for watching, guys.